What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So there's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. First off, the White House is nearing the end of its patience on the budget reconciliation talks. President Biden says he is ready to finally get this done. We also know Democrats are already discussing the next stimulus package. Yeah, you heard that right. Not the upcoming human infrastructure bill, aka stimulus, right? There's not a lot of stimulus in it as of at least this morning. However, the upcoming next bill after the human infrastructure bill that will happen sometime in 2022, that's already being discussed by Democrats, and some say this could be bigger than what is actually being discussed right now. We also know Senator Kyrsten Sinema is threatening to not comply with Democrats' plans of voting for the human infrastructure bill and then passing the bipartisan infrastructure bill as well. And many are urging her to just change her mind. We also know another stimulus payment is going to hit millions of people's bank accounts tomorrow. I'll address that in a minute. And many experts say that giving the IRS permission to look into our bank accounts is not the smartest move. So let's get into the update for today. Again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you're having an incredible day so far. Your week has been going great. If you could and you enjoy these daily uploads, go ahead and give this video a like. It really does help out the channel. So let's get into the update for today. According to Punchbowl News, they're saying the White House has had enough, that President Biden is ready to get the budget reconciliation bill done. He's had it. He's done with the negotiations, the back and forth, and the changing of minds. Right now, the White House says that there has been serious progress made in the infrastructure talks, and members of Congress are operating in good faith. But negotiations are nearing an end. Multiple lawmakers have made it clear that wrapping up the negotiations and passing both the bipartisan bill and the human infrastructure bill has to be done sometime in October. And even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he said when asked about the timeline, he simply said we must aim to do it in the month of October. He does not want to push this off into November. One of the reasons why pushing a bill back into November is kind of a bad idea, according to multiple lawmakers, is because when you push something back into November, many people want to kind of sleep on it, think about whether it's a good idea or not, and then once it gets towards the middle to end of November, it almost makes sense to just wait till the next year. That's at least according to multiple lawmakers. So right now it's coming to a conclusion. They want to finish this. They want to get it done sometime in October or early November at the latest, but they don't want to push it off too much further than that. But we'll see. Now, while these negotiations are still ongoing for the human infrastructure bill, what we know is that Democrats are already planning the next stimulus package. Now, this is very interesting. I told you this before, that what's going to happen is if something doesn't get passed in this human infrastructure bill, it will essentially just get pushed over to the next one. And maybe there's not the next, human infrastructure bill, but there's going to be another budget reconciliation. Democrats, they're supposed to, any majority is supposed to have 3 reconciliations that they can do every single year. Okay, and you can break those up, and yeah, there's a whole thing behind it. I'm not getting into that, but anyway, this year they used one, right, which was technically, I guess, 2, because now they only have 1 left. So we'll see how they move this forward. But the interesting part, and remember, the reconciliation bill, a new reconciliation will start in 2022. So this is one of the reasons why, according to lawmakers, let's get this bill done now. Let's push through a budget reconciliation so that next year we start with a clean slate. We got a bunch of new stimulus coming in. We got a bunch of infrastructure coming in the works, and we can pass other things next year. We can further extend President Biden's current agenda, his Build Back Better plan. That's the reports as of this afternoon. Now, this is actually coming from House Budget Committee Chairman John Yarmuth, and he's the one that I reported on Tuesday that he actually put out a video saying he is going to retire in the next 15 months. So, he says that he has already discussed the next reconciliation bill with Democratic leaders. And he addressed this and said that the pillars of the next bill will be whatever does not get passed or gets left out of this piece of legislation, the human infrastructure bill. Whatever it may be, it will pass in the next round. So, whether this is Medicare, tuition-free community college, paid family leave, or something else, we don't know. That's what's currently being negotiated, but it will eventually pass. And so this is why, according to multiple lawmakers, they say it would make more sense for moderates, instead of holding up this entire negotiation and the bills for the American people, it would make more sense for moderates to just get on board now. Well, we'll see how that goes down. And I know, I'm going to get a lot of questions on this, so I'm just going to answer this question right now. Will there be another round of stimulus checks in the next stimulus package that comes out in 2022? Well, I can tell you right now, in all honesty, I have no idea. I have no idea if this is going to happen. For one, it's going to make it very difficult for anybody to put a stimulus check into this bill. Okay? I don't see that happening. I can see the child tax credits get extended. That's somewhat stimulus. However, the problem is, outside of that, I don't see it get extended more than possibly 2 years. And I don't see it getting expanded into including other people. For instance, people that do not have children. I just don't see it happening at this time. However, what I can tell you is that the new talks of the upcoming budget reconciliation of 2022, those talks just started coming out today. Now, we heard the rumblings and we heard from Senate aides before that, this is there's discussions and there's a possibility. Okay, that's why I brought that up a while back. But the actual report that publicly came out, and John Yarmuth actually said this, that was today. Okay, so just clarifying this, even though we heard the rumblings before, the actual report came out today. So, being that it's so new, my assumption is that Democrats aren't going to push to try to include a stimulus check in this bill. So I don't see it getting pushed off into the next bill, and I don't see them really including it until possibly the end. Okay, just like I said before, that was what the rumors were, is that lawmakers were planning on pushing for a stimulus check, but they were going to wait until the end, going to wait until this bill was ready to pass, and then they're going to introduce this and say, oh, this is our last requirement. Let's include a, $500,000 stimulus check, right? We don't know what the number would be, but that was what the rumors were. I think everything changed when Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema decided, you know what, we're not going to support this. So as of right now, I don't see a stimulus check being included, but at the same time, it's still very early. So just understand that's currently where we're at. But let's address the current human infrastructure bill. What we know is there's a lot of discussions right now about what is actually going to go in it. Some of these reports and some of the discussions aren't very optimistic. They're not looking great. What we are hearing is that measures such as the child care subsidies, new Medicare benefits, a revamped child tax credit, tuition-free community college, and affordable housing are all on the chopping block at this time. Many are worried that a lot of their priorities are not going to be included, and even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that a lot of you members need to understand and come to grips with the fact that your priorities may not be there. They may be axed. So, according to reports, last week before Congress went on recess, we actually are seeing that Senator Schumer, he informed Senate Democrats what President Biden was presenting to House Democrats just the week before, so 2 weeks ago. And this was a plan for $2.5 trillion. That was his plan. But that is $1 trillion over what Senator Schumer Senator Sinema and Manchin want. And so this actually got pretty much axed right away. It was shot down very quickly because the Senate knew this was not something that they could pass. This is not something that was feasible. However, $2.5 trillion is where President Biden was wanting to be. That is exactly where House Democrats were thinking they would be. But according to reports today, it's going to be closer to about $2 trillion, maybe a little bit less. But also, Kyrsten Sinema told House Democrats just this week that she will not vote okay, I quote, will not vote for a multi-trillion-dollar human infrastructure bill, at least before Congress votes and passes the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. This is the one that would bring us new roads and bridges and other things like that. So this puts progressives and moderates back into the same boat, the same dilemma that they've been in for the past couple months. One is going to hold up because they say, until we get the human infrastructure bill done, we're not going to vote on the $1.2 trillion bill. That's coming from progressives. Then moderates say, until we get the $1.2 trillion hard infrastructure bill, we're not going to vote and try to pass the human infrastructure bill. That's a no-go. So both sides are playing hardball, and both sides are pretty much leveraging their power and saying, holding the other bill hostage, saying, we're not going to vote for it until you vote for our bill. Well, when it comes to two sides like that, it's looking like there's not a bill that's going to happen. There's no bill to be had. So we'll see. As of tomorrow, this will be the fourth child tax credit payment that comes out. It will hit bank accounts tomorrow. This is that $250 or $300 per month child tax credit payments that people have gotten in July, August, and September. Okay, October would be the fourth month. This means there's only 2 more payments after tomorrow. Okay, keep that in mind because a lot of people are kind of forgetting this. You only get a monthly payment until December 15th. After that, no more payments unless the child tax credit payments get extended. And that's one of the things I just said is currently on the chopping block. And it may not be 4 years as far as the extension. It may go down to 2, which means in January, in February, whatever, you would still get that $250 or $300 per month child tax credit payment. But as of right now, it's not going to happen. We don't see it. So this means that the other $1,500, because you only got paid half of your $3,000 or $3,600 payments, that means the other $1,500 or $1,800 per child that you are entitled to receive, that would actually be collected when you file your federal income taxes in 2022. So just keep that in mind. The money is not gone. You can still get it. However, you have to file your taxes. So just keep that in mind. Now, I want to address something that a lot of people are saying is that many experts say that allowing the IRS to access our bank account information is not the right move. They say that this would help find those tax cheats, which would be great, but at the same time, there's so many other issues with this. What we are hearing is that, yes, many contractors, okay, they accept cash payments in order to hopefully not pay taxes on the amount of money that they are being paid, right? Used car sales are often underreported, which means, let's say you buy a used car for $5,000, but then you tell the owner of the car, hey, on this receipt or on my bill of sale, can you put that I only paid $3,000? So essentially, you don't have to pay taxes on $2,000, right? That's pretty good, right? At least according to tax cheats. Well, parents oftentimes pay daycare centers and babysitters in cash, meaning the daycare provider, the babysitter, doesn't have to report that income on their taxes, right? Well, wrong. If you get money, whether it's cash, check, Venmo, whatever it is, you are still supposed to report that as income. So that's what the IRS is trying to pretty much overcome, is how a lot of these people, and again, nothing against babysitters or used car salesmen or contractors, but that's just what a lot of experts are saying is those kind of the main ones. There's other ones as well, okay? There are so many other ones. There's a lot of people that probably get out, paying taxes on certain amounts of income. It's understandable, but this is what the IRS is trying to avoid. So that's what they're looking at. But let me ask you this, okay? I want to ask you this one question really quick. Many people that I have talked to have said, and here on the channel as well, many people have said, if this passes, they're going to take all their money out at once. They'll take all their money. They will not use their bank account again. They're going to take all of their money and they will pull it out of their bank account and they will only deal in cash. They're not going to use a debit card. They're not going to use credit cards. They're not going to do any of that. Okay? So let me ask you this. Would you do the same thing in order to protect your privacy so that the IRS doesn't know, what you're paying money for? Because essentially, if you pull, let's say you have, say $50,000, right? $50,000, you just go to the bank, pull it all out. Now you got $50,000 in cash. The bank is only going to report that one transaction, that, okay, you took out $50,000. As to what you're going to do with it then, the IRS is going to have no idea, because they can't go and track cash. Really, nobody's going to know. But that's what a lot of people have been saying, is if this is the case, they're going to pull their money away from banks. And if everybody takes their money out of the banks, well, we could see a little bit of an issue there. So, but I'm curious if you thought of this, or do you plan on doing this as well? So let me know down in the comment section below. That is what we know as of this afternoon. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next